Oh, oh man.
What just happened?
I don't know. We got all
Not live.
got all of it out.
We are broadcasting this party, and it's just starting, and it'll be on YouTube as well. So it's kind of
Whoa.
it'll be a Google Hangout on YouTube.
Oh man, technology's so good.
Yeah. I'm jealous. You guys all have art behind you. Drape, you have art. This is kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting
We're bringing the culture.
for. All right. Yeah, we're up. We are up. I have confirmation. We are up. So now we're just waiting for a couple more people to be able to get in. Because and there's a minute delay. So
Watching the movie. Something from Bandai Namco is going on over there. What's going on over here?
I'm trying to give you guys a whole new webinar.
Oh my goodness, this is an experience right here. This is an experience. Oh my goodness.
All right.
People at home, if you're seeing this, this is brand new.
No. I think that's copyrighted material. I'm not programming.
Are you muting his video?
No, I did not mute his video. No, I did not do that.
That was awesome. Whoa.
All right. Well,
I'm only kidding. I won't stay there. I just wanted to see if it would work.
That's fantastic.
All right, so we have a couple of attendees that are still in the process of coming up. So I'm gonna be slow about it. But we're gonna get this party started in just a minute or two. Just want to give people a chance that want to come in, and then we'll get going.
I got my Mountain Dew. I'm ready.
You got your Mountain Dew?
I'm ready.
I'm actually, it's late enough. I've actually moved over to Aquafina, and they're not a promotional partner, so it's what I bought.
I got Diet Mountain Thunder.
Ooh, Diet Mountain.
Nice.
Now we're doing really good. We have the snacks, we have the drinks. It's starting to feel like a party.
It is a party.
All right, so even on my clock, it's already 11. So why don't we get started? So I want to welcome everybody out to our NaNoWriMo party, 1 hour to midnight. And
I'm trying to get there. I'm driving as fast as I can.
Almost there.
I'm on my way. Don't start without me.
So for anybody who's joined us who may have been forwarded this link and may not know what NaNoWriMo is, NaNoWriMo is the National Novel Writers Month, which is held in November, and it's a contest where participants are asked to write so many words toward a new novel. For adults, that goal is 50,000 words, and that takes a lot of dedication to write 50,000 words in 30 days. It's about 1,667 words a day. So if you can write 1,667 words, you'll get to the finish line by the 30th. For children, it's also an open contest for children. There's actually a young writers program. So what I'm going to do in the chat right now is I'm just going to put up both of those in case if anybody's not registered. I'm going to go ahead and just put up a quick message. The first link is for NaNoWriMo. That is for signing up as an adult. And the second one is actually for their young writers program, and that's at ywp.nanowrimo.org. The big difference between the two programs is the YWP program is only for those people who are under 18. And when they join, they actually get to pick a goal that is age appropriate. So there's not one that's prescribed to them. They get to pick, and so they can pick one working with their parents or working with a teacher. All right, so that's kind of the lowdown on NaNoWriMo and the Young Writers Program. So let's start with a form of introduction. So Alex, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself first?
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Sure. Is this thing on?
Yeah, it's on. I can hear you.
All right. Well, I'm Alex Corder. I'm the author of Return of the Dragon Knights, and I'm also a founder of Serious Writer's Block. And what that is Serious Writer's Block is all about helping writers become serious so that they can share their story, their message, and leave a lasting legacy.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks for sharing that, Alex. You're also the author of Return of the Dragon Knights, which, you know, my experience has been that is an amazingly popular young adult novel that at least in what I've seen has continued to remain popular even a couple of years after its writing. Now,
Thank you.
How old were you when you wrote it, though?
I was 15.
That's right, right?
And it was pretty much, I had written some stuff before it, but it was pretty much the first time I ever completed something that I was trying to write.
Why is my feet upside down?
I don't know.
What did you do? Why are you upside down?
I just asked you.
I know.
Isn't this your broadcast? Like,
I know there's a party and everything, but why are you upside down?
I don't know. There's something going on.
Here we go. Oh, he's right side up. All right, well, gosh, it's a good thing you're right side up, man, because that took a lot of effort. It's your turn, man. It's your turn. Introduce yourself.
There's a loading screen. Oh, good Lord, hold on. Something just went wrong.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. All right. Yeah, I think Brave Archer 3 just came up.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good. All right, so can you introduce yourself?
All right, so what's going on, people? What am I supposed to do now? What's up?
That was pretty good.
I write books, and I use Nano as an excuse to write the stories that I would have wrote if Nano wasn't around. So instead of writing on my own, I wait for a Nano month to come along so that I have an excuse to write what I was going to write anyway.
I like that.
That's a pretty good reason.
Now,
I don't want to write anything if I don't get money or a certificate for it. Like, why would I want to do that? I don't know. I'm not going to subjugate myself to the horrors of writing without like a certificate on the line.
Getting the certificate at the end is probably one of the best parts ever.
So Sash,
at least it's a good excuse.
Yeah.
So now, Sash, you participated in NaNoWriMo. You participated in 3-Day Novel. You've been in Script Frenzy. Did I miss any? What other contests have you participated in?
Well, we did that Reader's Digest one, the Reader's Digest short story one.
Right, that's right. We did that one as well, right? So, how many novels in total have you written?
You broke up. I couldn't hear you.
How many novels have you written?
That I've written or that you give me credit for? There seems to be a discrepancy.
Hey, no, I'll let you pick which one that is. Go for it.
Hold on. At this point, I have to get the little library of what I've written out because I don't know. It says here that I've successfully written 15, but Mike only gives me credit for 13.
Well, and there's a reason for that.
All right. So I have finished 13, and I have one that's 633 pages, and it's missing 5 pages, and Mike won't give me credit for it.
That's right. Just write those 5 pages.
I don't want to write those 5 pages.
You got to write those 5 pages. That's the whole point. Otherwise, it's not.
That's the longest book I've ever written. They can read it without 5 pages.
You have to say it's done, and then count it. I'll let you count it. All right, and just to close out our introduction. So I'm Mike Corder. I've written 7 books. using the fact that I haven't finished the others that I've written. I've got about 4 or 5 that are still in works in process, but I've got 7 done. And of those, I've published 2. The most recent one I actually published this week, which was crazy because I ran into all sorts of problems. I was traveling. I was in Detroit. I didn't have half the stuff that I needed in order to publish it. I had to call on Alex to help. Hey, Sasha, are you driving in the background? What's going on there?
No, my hard drive is making horrible noises.
Your hard drive?
So is mine.
Oh, at least it's not your laptop hard drive, right?
Oh, we dropped him.
Uh-oh, we dropped him.
He'll
Anyway.
come back.
All right. Well, hopefully he'll be back on. Oh, I can still hear it. I can still hear the
That
sound.
would be mine.
Oh, that's yours.
Mine, yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so as part of the party, I like parties where you have gifts. So here's the first gift.
Me too.
I since I published this book, I soft released it yesterday, and today I'm giving it away for free. So if you're here on the call and you're at the party, I want to give you a free copy of my book. And so in order to do that, and I want you to be careful. When I'm going to give you a link to Amazon, and you can click through, go to it, and download the book, and you can use it on anything that can run Kindle. So you can run it on a Kindle, you can watch it on an iPhone or an Android, you can watch it on an iPad, you can watch it on your MacBook or your PC. You watch it on anything and read it on anything. So I'm just going to go ahead and post the link. This is not supposed to be a sale, so do me one favor. If you go to Amazon and when you get there, it is not free. Don't buy it. Just contact me, and I will make sure you get a free copy. Because the point is not for me to sell it. It's just to give it to you. So, Sash, what I was doing is I'm giving away a free copy of Be Positive to the people who joined. You still there? All right.
Well, see him.
I'm back.
Oh, he's back.
Back. All right.
That was rough.
I
I got thrown off or something.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. So anyway, I put in the chat, I put the link to the book.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and if you can't get it, just reach out to me, and I will make sure you get a free copy if you can. It'll be free until midnight Pacific time, and so because that's where Amazon is. So it should be good until 3 a.m. But that brings me to my next point. I don't know what 3 a.m. necessarily means because we are closing out daylight savings time at 2 a.m. this tomorrow morning. So be careful. Make sure you roll your clock back, and you'll get that extra hour.
Now, is that terrible noise? Is that Alex's hard drive?
Yes, that's me.
Hard drive. Yeah.
We're both doing it.
Worse. I thought it was you driving.
When I was closing out, like I had Photoshop open,
Yeah.
and as soon as I closed Photoshop, then I accidentally closed the Google window. But now that Photoshop's closed, my computer's running smooth, and I'm not having a problem.
Hey, Alex, actually, that's not your hard drive. Your hard drive's solid state. That's got to be your fan.
Probably the video card. But
It could be. It could be.
we used to have 2 fans in here, now there's 1. You know, that's how it goes.
You're going to have to get you a Mac.
Nah.
Why would anybody want to do that?
Hey, let's get on to the part that people want to talk about.
Then you have to use some kind of weird like imitation word for Mac and stuff.
All right. Well, hey. So now we introduced ourselves. I'd like, if you're attending, if you could in the chat, just give us a name. It could be your first name, or it could be a name that you like to go by, and just a city that you're from. And that way we'll get a feel for where people are from. And I'm going to give it a second because I know there's a little bit of a delay in the video when people get it. So I'm just going to
About
give it
20 to 30 second delay.
Wait a second.
Oh, man, what?
Is that a stormtrooper?
Oh, my goodness, the Empire is invading. Dude, that looks good.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Now that red spot, is that permanent?
What?
Is that a permanent red spot on that helmet?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, I had to put the red spot on the helmet and on the uniform
Yeah.
because I let my motorcycle boots and my motorcycle gloves go back to their original red state. And so I had to be like a stormtrooper general with a red dot.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
that's awesome.
All right. Well, let's see. All right. So guys, why don't we put in where we're from? Put on our name and the city we're from as well, just so people can. I'll get it started here. We're doing pretty good on time. We're only at like 15 minutes after, so. Hey, welcome. Katie. I'm not going to say where you're from, because this is out on the chat is not on YouTube, but the video is. So I'm just going to go with first name, and I'm not going to say where you're from. And hey, Alex.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, where'd the stormtrooper go?
He's hiding out.
Oh, he's still there. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Do. So what are we going to talk about today?
All right. So why don't we? Alex, that fan is killing me. Wow, that's crazy.
I'm going to do this one.
Okay. When you're not talking, you'll mute yourself? All right, that's all right. All right. Oh, wow, there was a lightsaber.
That force effects?
Yeah,
That looks really good.
that's pretty wild. All right,
Oh,
all right, all right. So let's get started with the party, guys. Boy, we got everything. We got costumes.
Give in to your hate.
Oh, we got it. This is getting bad.
The power of the dark side is anger.
I cut his head off.
Oh, no. All right, well, we did say it was a party and not a webinar, so I guess it's cool that we're having fun.
This is all acceptable behavior for a party.
Yeah, I know.
All right. All right, so I'm also gonna put up a we have polls, which is kind of interesting.
Ooh.
Party, but I thought that whoa, where is my poll? All right, here. I don't see my poll, so I'm gonna have to create it. That's awesome. The poll I created is not there.
Put it up there.
Uh-huh. You guys talk amongst yourselves for a second, because apparently my poll didn't save when I went there. Brad, Alex, say so.
So, everyone have a good Halloween. Everyone eat candy. Oh, man! Oh, I'm getting wrecked over here. I have no weapons. I can't defend myself.
All right, so I threw the poll out there. So the poll question is: are you ready for Nano this year? And the answer would be yes, no, or maybe. All right, I have a no out there. Uh-oh.
I'm putting maybe. I can't vote, but I'm putting maybe.
Are you saying maybe? All right. There's a stormtrooper.
I killed him, so I don't think he'll be back.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
why not?
All right. So, while people are answering the poll, let me ask you guys this. Well, let's just talk about what happens at midnight. So obviously we're going to stay on until midnight, and at midnight, we're right coming into midnight. We're going to do a countdown. So we'll go from 10 to 1, the last 10 seconds up to midnight, and then we're going to have a quick farewell, so that people who want to write can get started immediately. And for those who aren't quite ready to write or have questions, I'm going to hang out afterwards. So if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. You can put questions in the chat. In fact, if you have questions right now about how any of this works, go ahead and put them in the chat. And if we get time during the party, we'll just go ahead and answer them, or we'll answer them afterward if we run out of time. So, but either way, if you have any questions, I will stay on until they're answered, which I think it will be good for everybody that has questions. So I will stay on. Let's see. I think we got one no. Alex, you were maybe. Sasha, are you ready for? We got two maybes. Sasha, are you ready for Nano?
Unfortunately, I'm losing enthusiasm. You guys need to pump this up. Come on.
We're gonna pump this up.
Come on.
I'm gonna stay up all night, and my word count's gonna go nuts.
You broke up. I didn't hear. What did you say?
My word count is gonna go nuts because I'm staying up all night.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. All right. Okay.
All right. Well.
It stopped. What's going on?
So we're gonna talk about preparation a little bit, right?
What just happened?
What? What happened to you?
He may have frozen.
Uh-oh.
Alex muted. I saw Alex muted, and then my computer locked up. I don't know what's going on.
Sounds like an average party for Nano. Isn't that what usually happens in Nano?
Pretty much.
Somebody's in mute, and the computer just locks up.
Yeah, it's normal.
That happens. All right, so let's talk about preparation for Nano. Sasha, what's one thing that you like to do to prepare for Nano?
I plot.
Ooh, that's an interesting thing. All right.
Dun dun dun.
How about you?
I plan.
Plan.
I plan. I don't call it plotting.
You don't like the stigma contained therein? Is that what it is?
That's pretty much it.
You're tired of those low-class pantsers who don't finish making fun of us because we have plots, and so you're trying to...
Wait.
Oh, what?
Think about it. No, but there are pantsers who are very well written, right? They go out and they do it. Think about M. Night Shyamalan, right? He
They lie.
No, he pantses. I mean, it took him 16 edits to get to that ending for The Sixth Sense, but he did get there, and he wrote it after pantsing his whole way there.
Yeah, and that's why he can't repeat it.
Well, okay, but he got one. He did get one.
And he's spending the rest of his life trying to get another one. He's chasing the dragon.
All right. Well, let's start. Sure. Let's start the argument. I mean, it's 20 minutes into a party. We might as well argue. So what is it? I mean, what do you guys think about plotters versus pantsers? I mean, the debate is that one's better than the other.
If you want to write a linear in the day in the life of for low-level readers, well, then of course you can pants it, because you go, I get up, this is what I did, I go to bed, and I get up the next day. That doesn't require a plot. But if you want any kind of sophisticated storytelling with all kinds of literary devices and write at a higher level than kindergarten, well, then you have to have some kind of plot in order not to, write yourself into a hole and create inconsistencies where a person like me would say, hey, how come you said it was noon and now you're writing that at 6 o'clock? You see, that's what happens when you pants. You can't even figure out what time of day your book's written in. There you go. Next.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. That's true. I mean,
continuity. Consistency.
Yeah, continuity is tough. If you pants it, I think continuity is really tough. And I've edited a lot of people's books. Like I've edited yours, Sash. I've edited Alex's. I've edited my own. I've edited other people who I won't name because they haven't given me permission to. Because some of them are clients. But I do find that when somebody's pantsed a book, and by pantsing we mean not that they're sagging or that their pants fall around their ankles, but rather somebody who is writing by the
seat of their pants.
Yeah, so we didn't explain what that was, and we probably should have. But when somebody pantses, I think one of the big concerns is can they get continuity? Is it something where they can say, I know what time of day, like to your point, Sasha, what time of day it is, where they're going, and I know how much time something takes to get there. Because a lot of times, without that, you end up with plot holes if you pants. What do you think, Alex? I know you've been quietly on mute, so we didn't have to listen to your video card.
You like my my vacuum cleaner sound?
Oh yeah, it's not. It
Pretty
sounds.
good.
It's now, Alex. You got to stop vacuum your room.
I'm sorry, I just didn't have enough time earlier. So, um, what I think about pantsing is, even if you're pantsing, you at least have some idea where you're going if you're going to be successful with it. Like, you can't just sit down at a computer and say, I'm just gonna write completely whatever comes to mind and have it become something that is readable. It can't just be, I'm going to wait for the divine inspiration to strike me and write just from that. There has to be some forethought. There has to be an...
What the hell? What the hell's going on? What was that?
An ambulance?
What was that?
This party's so loud. We were lucky they didn't call the police. Oh no!
What kind of party is this?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know.
It's getting hot in here. That's what it is. It's getting hot in here. All right. So here's a question for both of you, right? Though, one of the reasons that I think people don't want to plot, other than sometimes it can be hard to do it, is I often hear, if I plan it too much, I'll lack the it'll lack the flexibility to let me be creative. Sasha, are you still there?
Yeah. Well, it gives what it does is it's not that it inhibits your creativity. It allows you enough room to hang yourself and make mistakes so that you think you're being creative, and then the rest of the world goes, how could they be so stupid? They forgot about the character that's sitting in the backseat of the car until page 400. Like, oh yeah, I forgot about him. Yeah, that's great. Like, what if you want to write a 3-novel 1,000-page trilogy that has 5 subplots in the first book, 7 aligning subplots in the second book, and then you have to resolve all of the 5, all of the 7 in the third book and have an ending, and have all 3 books have an individual story arc and then have an overarching storyline for all 3 books? Like, how are you going to do that by pantsing?
Well, first of all, anyone who wants to take on 1,000 pages by pantsing, I'm gonna applaud them, because that's a suicide mission right there.
Well, you want to, all right, hold on. If you set out to write a short story pantsing, you end up with a 1,000-page novel.
That's true.
Because you can't rein it in. That gets
happens.
quick.
It's like, oh, it would be cool. 1,000 of those later.
No, it gets away from you quick, man.
So I think, now this is going to sound really controversial, right? But I know as we're coming up on the half-hour point here, to me, I think it's less of a question of should you plot or should you pants.
Oh, you're breaking up.
Yep. You hear? Well, how about now? You hear me now? I think it's less of an issue of whether you plot or whether you pants. I think that it's that everybody plots to some level, right? It may be a really high level, like maybe you only know what the ending is and what the beginning is and some points in the middle, or maybe you get much more detailed.
Well, it's still a plot, though. It's still a plot.
That's what I'm saying. I think pantsers still plot to some degree. They just don't. Maybe they don't write it down, but
they just don't want to admit it.
They don't want to admit it. And I think that as people who plan or plot or organize their story, however you want to call it, I think that we can't forget that we also pants a little bit, because there's things that come up when you're writing the book where you go, I didn't see that coming. And you have to be really careful to make sure you don't move off the plot, right? So the plot's not so rigid, or hopefully it's not so rigid that you're stuck in it. You want to be able to have some flexibility to be able.
Oh yeah, no, of course. You have to be able to.
So I actually think there are no plotters and pantsers. I think that we all just pick what we want to call ourselves, and then we have some level of plotting or pantsing that we do, each of us.
Yeah, I think you're being too easy. You're just looking for a way out to make the people who have written 800 pages can't get their book done because they've created so many inconsistencies. You just don't want them to feel bad and quit Nano. That's all.
Well, I think that it's easier if you're willing to at least get it out of your head and get it down on paper. I mean,
Okay, wait a sec. All right, so Mike, if you have to go to the grocery store, you're out of groceries, and you go to the grocery store, right? And you spend a bunch of money and you buy a bunch of stuff, and then you come home. Chances are 80% of what you needed, you didn't get. So why not plot out the grocery trip? Oh, doesn't matter what you call it, but you make your list. Oh, we're out of toilet paper. Because wouldn't it suck to spend like 4 hours in the grocery store, get home, go to the bathroom, and there's no toilet paper because you didn't want to plot out your trip because you didn't like the word, and you're like, oh, it inhibits my supermarket creativity. Oh, come on. My supermarket creativity can't be inhibited by writing down what I need to get. I need to be able to free roam through the supermarket because I don't like the misnomer. No.
You did that today.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I think
I pants every supermarket trip. You want to know why? Because I don't let my supermarket creativity become inhibited. I'm not gonna plot out my supermarket trip by writing an itinerary. No, of course not.
Now this is gonna sound weird, but I do plan out my.
I like wiping with a shower curtain.
I do. That was borderline G rating there. So anyway, I do plan when I go to the supermarket. But think about it. I don't plan when I go to Walmart. When I go to Walmart, I pants the whole time. I'm like, look. Sometimes I buy pants at Walmart. I mean, I just the whole time is just wandering through Walmart for 4 hours trying to figure out what I.
No, you want to know why? Walmart's the research trip.
Yes,
you're doing research when you go to Walmart. You're researching so that you can go back to the supermarket with your itinerary and buy what you need. But actually, that doesn't work because the supermarket's more expensive.
Yeah, well, a lot of times it is. So, I mean, when I think about it, I think that part of preparation for Nano or for any time you write is you really have to plan or plot what it is you want to do, and you have to get to, at least to your point, Sash, you have to have an understanding of what the characters are and who they are. When I think about the first 3-day novel that we did, each of us have done 3-day novel. If I didn't plan that out meticulously, and if I didn't know my characters like they were sitting in the room with me, there was no way I could have done 3-day novel. And I think you have more leeway with 30 days with Nano, but you still want to use a success strategy. And I think if you don't plan, at least to some degree, before you get in, I think you have a much harder road to go.
Yeah, but all right, but you want to say, I mean, it's true though, because you do have a point. If you want to have to rewrite your book like 4 or 5 times to cover all the continuity mistakes, and then re-edit it 5 or 6 times because of all the things that you left out, and then have somebody else read it over and edit it for you like a 7th, 8th, and 9th time, and then realize that you're only half done, then of course you should pants, because you can't do that if you plot it out, because if you plot it out, you're going to finish in a timely manner because everything is there for you, and so it doesn't allow you to free roam. I mean, if that's what you want to do, because we have friends who are 20 years on one book. So I mean, if that's what you want to do, of course you have to pants it.
Yeah. Well, no, that's actually a good point, right? I mean, we know a lot of people that don't finish the book either, right? I think
they say they say that they're just writing. They're allowing their free roaming creativity to not inhibit them.
Well, and I think the problem with that, in my mind, is if you start it, you really want to finish it, because if you don't, then you waste that time, and you may never pick it up or may never write anything else. And so, yeah, you're right. I mean, we know people that have been writing for 20 years the same book, and reality is at the rate they're going, they may never finish.
So would you guys say that having a clear purpose of why you're writing your book would help with that?
I think so. I think you have to know the why you're writing it and what that what kind of. I think you also need to know what the message is of what you're trying to communicate in the book, right? So even no matter even in a fiction like a novel, you have to know, okay, what's the main theme I'm trying to communicate here? Is this an adventure and I'm trying to you know get people to be really excited because it's an adventure, or is it a drama, and what do I want them to feel? I think you need to know those things going in. That was quiet. There must have been a stroke victim. It was really, really quiet.
Oh man.
Oh, it's still going. It's still going. Hey, that's a hard party. What? Now it's going
I'm
lights.
sorry.
Now it's going lights. And that was the 11:35. That was the warning alarm that we only have 25 minutes left until we
Whoa,
count.
dude.
So, all right, I think we've done the pros and cons of.
I think we've offended enough people that we should be able to be
You
all
know,
right for the next couple months.
I think it's pretty good. If you go online and you research the topic, I think you can find a lot of propaganda on both sides. I think that if you want to be really safe and you want to write something that in the end you feel that you really accomplished what you wanted, the only good way or sure way to do that is to plan out what you're going to write. If you just go with just pure adrenaline and creativity, I think you run a risk, and especially in Nano, right? You only have 30 days. You're writing like 1,667 words a day. On the last day, you get to go 1,666, so that's great. But it really doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't help if you don't have a plan when you're going in. If you just sit there, because think about what happens. You get writer's block at some point during those 30 days if you don't know what you're supposed to be writing. And it could be really bad writer's block. It could stop you. And
Well, you do know that if you plot, you can't get writer's block because you know what you have to write.
Yeah, I got like a weird type of writer's block the one time. I plotted what I wanted to write, and then I realized I didn't want to write what I plotted. And I struggled with it for a little while, but in the end, I knew what I had to do to fix it, and I went back and I looked at the plot and said, I don't feel comfortable with the way that's going down. Let me fix it, and it was a real quick, easy fix. And as soon as I fixed it, I finished the book. So, but if I didn't have a plan, can you imagine? I could have gone like 15 years trying to figure out what am I going to do with that character. Because you have to get it down on paper, I guess is the big thing, or get it on a computer screen somewhere out of your head where you can look at it.
All right. Here, I have a question then. So say, because generally speaking, the people who give you the argument, saying, oh, it inhibits my creativity, are generally the ones who don't know if they have creativity or not because they've never finished a book, and it's usually you only hear that from first-time writers who read it somewhere. Now, let me just say, all right, so they've never gone there, so they don't know where they're going, but they don't want to plot. So if you have to leave New Jersey and drive to California, are you going to say that a roadmap and planning out your trip is inhibiting your driving creativity? Or are you just going to start driving, like no compass, and you just start driving? Then what are you going to do when you end up in Florida, no money, and your car doesn't work, and the party's in California? At least you're free and you have all your creativity, but...
And they both have palm trees, so that's good.
You know what they do? And then you know what they do? They give up, and they're like, yeah, what about that California trip, dude? Nah, man, I gave up on that. How far did you get?
Florida.
Oh, I didn't get too far. I got like 80 pages into my trip. Oh, that's great. I'm so proud of you.
All right, well, I'm glad you brought up 80 pages, right? I'm so glad you brought up 80 pages, because that is a magic number, right?
Yeah.
If you can get to 80 pages, you could finish a book, but a lot of people get to 80 pages And for some reason, that is the Bermuda Triangle for a lot of writers. They just fall right off. So, Sash, what was the number? I know you had given one of our mutual friends a number. What was the number of pages you said you had to kind of get to in order to have a pretty good idea that you probably were going to finish the book?
Well, it's funny because I have to digress for 1 second. The enthusiasm and the freedom to have the creativity to write, all of that excitement, at about 80 pages, all of that excitement goes away, and all of a sudden it feels like you're back in high school and you have to do your trig homework that you don't want to do, and it's due the next day, and you're all by yourself, and you're never going to use like that again, and you don't want to do it. It doesn't become fun. At around 80 pages, you're by yourself, and all you have are words behind you, words next to you, and then a bunch of words that you haven't put down in front of you, and it's not fun anymore, and your excitement has waned. And you're by yourself, and what are you going to do? Like call up a friend and say, yeah, I'm working on this book, and I got a bunch of words that I don't know what to put. 80 pages is good enough. At 80 pages, it's not fun anymore.
That's true. What would you say gets you to push past that 80-page point?
Plot. No. I'm lying. It will, because at least you know where you're going, because if it's not fun, you don't like exploring anymore. And around 80 pages, if you don't know where you're going, you realize that you've created so many tangents that you'll never get there. And I think that overwhelming feeling of this huge tangent tree and you can't rein it back in discourages a lot of people.
I'm glad that you kind of put it that way. Being able to rein it back in is another reason that it's important to kind of at least plan out what you're going to do. Because if you get too far down or too far afield, trying to rein that thing in, and with not planning it or plotting it, you end up creating these branches that just kind of expand out beyond your reach. You're not able to rein that thing back in and end the book. And so that's where you see people with 800 and 1,000-page books that really kind of meander and go everywhere and never get anywhere.
Yeah. All right. Here you go. I will argue against myself. If you want to write a linear in the day in the life of book that is not meant for a more sophisticated audience, you really don't have to. It's really how complex you want your story to be. Because if you're going to have like multiple subplots, if you're going to have 7 subplots, you really can't not know where they're all going. If you're only going to have one plot and it's a linear in the day in the life of, the girl gets up, goes to 7th grade, has a bad day at school, comes home, goes to bed, gets up the next day, you don't really have to plot it out because you don't know what's going to happen until she gets to school. And then you don't know what's going to happen until she gets home from school. So if you're going to do that, and there's a lot of successful books that do that, and I won't say Twilight. Oh, sorry. But
you said it.
They all start with the first day of school, and she gets up in the morning and puts her clothes on. Like all those books do that. If you're going to do that, you really don't have to plot for a while.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, and we've said it a couple times among ourselves, but you can kind of tell a young adult book that usually the first chapter starts with the person's first day back or at high school, and they're walking down the hall and they see their friends in the hallway, and then they go to their locker. I mean, so many young adult books start that way, and not all of them do, but so many do that it's a cliche. And it's kind of funny when you see it, and we've seen it in people's writing where you go, wow, they really stuck to the genre and didn't deviate.
Well, and I forgot to say first person present. Because if you're writing first-person present, and you're doing linear in the day in the life of, you really only have to do a make-believe journal, and you'll be fine. So you really don't have to plot out a linear journal in first-person present.
I'm only a little offended because, like, my Poe book that I'm working on is a day in the life, and it is first-person present. Hey!
Yeah, but he didn't go to his locker.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a teenage girl filled with angst who's so beautiful that everybody wants her, but she thinks she's ugly. That's not your Poe book.
No, but he might. It turn out to be a teenage girl. I haven't decided yet.
That would be a good twist.
I'm leaving my options open on that book.
You should write that down. You should write that. Oh wait, no. If you wrote it down,
I'd be planning. Stop
crap.
that. That sounds like jazz. All right. Well, listen. We are about 15 minutes to go.
And now you have me stressed out. Now I'm not going to be able to write.
That was his plan all along. Oh my goodness.
Now I'm stressed.
I should have known the party was going to get us all riled up before we
my creativity's been inhibited.
Then you should pants it.
Oh, no, then I'd really be stressed.
Just write stream of consciousness tonight. You'll do all right. You can get at least 30 pages, I'm sure. Let's see. So what I thought we'd do next, with 15 minutes to go, one thing I really like about New. Oh! What's happening?
He's going all out.
Sorry.
Hey, no, it was 15 minutes to go, so we needed to have the alarm come off. Hey, so what I like about New Year's Eve is that we make resolutions of things we're going to do. And so what I was thinking we might want to do is just declare for ourselves what it is we're going to do this Nano. So what I want us to do is in the chat, I want us to write a one-sentence pitch. What are you writing about this year for Nano? And don't give away your whole story, but just one sentence pitch. What are you writing? All right, so let's write it.
I'm saving my words. I can't waste words. What are you talking about?
Well, if you copy and paste it out of the chat, that would be like you could use that as your first 10 words of Nano.
I know. I need those words.
No, we're just saying. I mean, just tell a genre, something. You don't have to.
Oh, this will be my first sci-fi novel.
See, look, I'm writing my first romance.
Aren't all of your books romance anyway?
Yeah, but this is my first one that's actually a romance. So. Let's see. In the 1960s. Sorry, I can't talk and type usually, unless I read what I'm writing.
We only have 13 minutes.
I know, it's getting there. We're like, woo! We're gonna start Nano really, really soon. That's awesome.
I got it.
All right, I wrote mine. Oh, I see yours, Alex. Ooh, futuristic war over the creation of...
Alex's computer is going to die, and he's not going to be able to write anything.
I am really worried that I'm going to have to take him out to go get a new computer.
When that happens, I'm going pen and paper. So.
Oh yeah, you're gonna get a lot of words done that way.
I did it.
You did it.
You did it, but that's.
I know it's possible now.
That's you. You gave yourself like carpal tunnel or whatever too, right? No, that was a different time. That was a different time. I know.
The Crowquill page.
Probably. Oh yeah, forget that. I only wrote one like that. That was enough of that.
Yeah, using a pen and a separate little jar of ink and dabbing it, writing it. That's crazy. You can't use fountain pens to write. Oh, is that? Do you have it with you? Is that it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Yeah.
That's insane. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, we won't use that again. Well, at least not for writing.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. All right. So with 11 minutes left, I think what I want to do next is the top 10. So I stole this idea. But it's not on TV anymore, so I'm going to be okay with it. So I want to cover the top 10 things you don't want to hear during Nano this year. And Alex, it's not on the list, but I'm pretty sure that sound that your computer's making is one of the things you don't want to hear while you're doing Nano this year. So that might be the winner, but we're going to do the top 10 anyway. So here we go.
I can't hear you. What is this?
So this is the top 10 things you don't want to hear while you're doing Nano this year. And that includes the noise on Alex's computer. All right, so here's the first one. All right, here we go. Number 10. Windows will now begin scheduling updates.
It's good.
Number 9. What do you mean gone? You didn't save?
I didn't.
You don't ever want to hear this.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that either. That's what your hard drive sounds like when you don't save.
Vacuum.
Number 8. That's better than the drums in the background. All right. No. Yeah, I hear you. All right. No, number 8. I had to mute him. Hold on, I'm unmuting you. How do I unmute somebody after they're muted? That's not good. I don't know how to unmute them now.
I think I can do it.
Oh, good.
He unmuted himself.
I can do it because I have administrative privilege.
Yeah, I went over to highlight you, and I ended up hitting mute, and then I couldn't unmute you, and I don't know what the heck happened.
Hey, we got to do the top 10 because we have a question in chat to be answered.
Oh!
Dun dun dun!
Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Katie. All right, so here we go. Number 7. Was that accidental or was that a retaliation, Sasha?
He muted you.
Hey, number 8. All right, Sasha, you're gonna like this one. I was thinking of you when I heard it. The number 8. One of the top 10 things you don't want to hear during Nano this year. Number 8. I got 50,000 words on my first day, boy.
Wait, what? You broke up? I missed it. What?
You can't hear it? I got 50,000 words on my first day, boy. All right, here we go. Number 7. You know what? There's a movie that is just like your book. Have you seen it? All right, number 6. You didn't save? Number 5.
Wait, I missed number 6. It's some ding happened and I didn't hear it.
You didn't save? All right, number 5. You guys are going to be without power for at least 9 more days.
Oh, jeez.
That actually happened.
Yeah, sorry, I had to use my Texas accent for that. Number 4. I'm sorry. Novel validation is closed. See you next year. Number 3. Number 3. That's what you're writing about? Me too. Number 2. We're going to need you to come in on Sunday. Yeah, right. And the number 1 thing that you don't want to hear when you're doing Nano this year, 50,000 schmifty-thousand. Lorem ipsum, here I come.
Wait, say it again. I missed it. I didn't hear you.
All right.
I'm hearing like every other word.
50,000 schmifty-thousand. Lorem ipsum, here I come. Just using lorem ipsum. and do it.
Yeah, and then honorable mention is Susie Must Write finished the first hour.
There is no way you finish in the first hour.
No, Susie Must Write.
I know, but there's no way you can do it unless you have lorem ipsum. You have to put fake words in there. There's no way.
Sushi Must Write finished the whole thing in 1 day last year. Yeah, so, like, what? How can she beat 1 day?
Yeah, you can't do 1 hour.
That's probably do it with talk to text, but it's so hard to do in an hour. I don't know.
But if you add up your word count, like, I can't write 50,000 words in 1 day.
Yeah.
Like, if you take my optimum word count, it doesn't get to 50,000 in a day.
Hey, so guys, we have a question to answer here.
Yeah. So
do you want to start? Yeah, I'm gonna read it. You ready?
Well, do you want to? Yeah, go for it.
What inspired you to write and to continue to write, even with all of the daily routines and jobs that you have? some find it hard to balance it all out. How do we balance it out and still have creativity and the inspiration to write?
You give up your life for a month and you don't do anything else. You call out of work sick and you do nothing until you finish your book. And when you get to page 80, your inspiration and when your inspiration leaves, you have to do everything past page 80 on nothing but, inner strength, because you're going to be by yourself putting words down on a
All right. So in case my client hears this, I've never done that, and I won't do that to you. This November, I will still be working for you, and I will not do that to you.
And you give up sleep. You give up sleep too.
Yeah. You definitely give up sleep. So I've actually got a really good answer for this one. So I left for Detroit on Sunday, and I had to finish. I made commitments and promises that I was going to publish my second book, and that I was going to have it in place so I could do a free day today. And so when I got to Detroit, I knew I had to finish a little bit of creative edits going on, because there was like a chapter that I didn't like the way it was, and I needed to fix that. And so I was still writing some of the book on Monday. So I got in Sunday night, I wrote Sunday, I wrote Monday, and I really had to stay up late Monday in order to get it done. Well, I had to get to work the next morning. I had an early start at 8 a.m., and you just have to get up and take a shower and hope and pray you can get up. And then by Tuesday, I had to send it out to 3 people to help me edit it, because I had to get it done by Thursday. If it wasn't done by Thursday, I couldn't put it up. And so Thursday came, we finished all the edits, and this is after working a full day of work. So I had worked an 8-some-odd hour day. I had to go out because it was with a client. So I went out to dinner with the client, and I got back to the hotel at like 10 o'clock at night. And I worked from 10 o'clock at night Thursday until 5. It was like 5 in the morning on Friday. And by that time, I had to finish the editing of the book, lay out the book. My cover had gotten destroyed, so I had to create a new cover. And then I had to put all that together and put it up on Amazon, and then set up all the promotions for it, and then go to work at 9 o'clock the next morning. So yeah, I think sleep is definitely something that you kind of get rid of.
What was it that pushed you through all those challenges, though? Like, what gave you the motivation to go that far?
I'll tell you what. There's 2 things for me, right? And I think both of you know what they are.
Looking out the window at the throes of mediocrity and refusing to be grabbed and pulled down into their midst. That's what kept you going.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. But 2 things, right? So I wrote that first book kind of dumb, right? I didn't know that I couldn't write a book, so I just did it. But once I wrote that first book, I was bit by that bug, right? So, and the things that really keep me going and keep me writing and keep me pushing, even though, with having a lot of kids and having a constant work struggle to keep things going. I think the thing that really is 2 things. One is that people saw that I wrote a book and they were inspired to start writing themselves, right? I mean, if that hadn't happened, maybe I would have stopped at the first or second book. And the second thing is that once you prove to yourself that you can keep those kind of commitments, it gets a lot easier. Even though it's always balanced, right? You can't say, I'm not going to spend time with my spouse, I'm not going to spend time at work. You can't do that consistently for the amount of time that it takes to write a book, but you have to find ways and be creative with your time in order to balance that out. And hey guys, can we finish that question and other things? I think we have 30 seconds left on the until midnight, and what I'd like to do in about 10 or 12 seconds is just do a countdown to midnight. So
That'll be cool.
10, 9, 8,
8,
7,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
4,
4,
3,
3, 2,
1. All
1
right.
and a half.
Happy Nano. If you want to type
Woo!
right now,
Whoa!
Sasha, you already typing?
Yeah.
All right. All
All
right.
right. But hold on one second. I do have to give you a real answer though.
Yeah.
You set a page count that you're going to achieve each day, regardless of what it is, and then before you allow yourself to sleep, you make sure that you write that page count, whether it's fun or not, and that's what you have to rely on, even no matter what happens. So if it's 3 pages a day, at the end of the day, you make sure you get 3 pages done before you go to sleep, whether you're having a good time or not. There you go. All right, I got to go right, guys.
All right, Sasha. Hey, thanks. Thanks.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you so much for being with us. This was cool.
So yeah, and I promised him he could go do that. Uh-oh. There we go. So I just got bunny eared. That's awesome. Again, what happened? Well, it's a good thing you muted Alex. Come on, that was good.
That's like my vacuum hard drive.
Oh, I know. Well, he wanted to do
Great
it.
sound.
He wanted to do it before.
Yeah.
So, the answer to this question, boy, dude, you put your hand over the microphone or something when you're talking, because a little bit, because it'll mute it, because it's getting louder. We're gonna have to do something about that computer. So I think to answer the question, the big thing is this. When I say you have to be creative with your time, I think it's not that you're going to squeeze more time out of the day. I think you look at it and you say, okay, where today can I find time that I could squeeze just a little bit out of, right? And it maybe sleep's an answer. Maybe TV, if you have any time for TV, maybe it's TV time. You squeeze a little time out of that. But I think that in order for you to be really successful, it cannot be the time you spend with your significant others. So if it's your spouse or your kids, you can't take time from them. You have to give them the time that they expect. Now, they may be willing to give up 5 minutes of your time here or an hour of your time there. And if they are, do that occasionally if it feels right and you're really inspired to write, because the inspiration comes when it does, right? I mean, I couldn't have written any of my books if I didn't get the chance to occasionally work through dinner, right? And say, well, you know what? I'm not all that hungry, but I'm ready to write. And so maybe I don't eat dinner with everybody else that day. That can happen, but you got to make sure that's not the standard that you set. You don't want that to be every day, because if it is, you're going to get really sick of writing really quick. And as far as inspiration and creativity, I think for me, I would write down on a piece of paper and I'd post it either in your bathroom at the mirror or near your bed or anywhere at work. And it would just say, I am a writer and I'm going to write what I can when I can. And just remind yourself that you have that power. You have the power. You could write that. You could write, I'm a creator. I think that's a good statement too, because that's really what you are when you write a book. You're giving life to these characters and to this story, and you have to give them the time that they need. But the creativity really comes from you, so you have to give yourself the time you need. And I know I talked a lot about stealing time from sleep. I know Sasha said that too, but the reality is you don't have to feel like you can't sleep. I think, when I think back to nanos and stuff like that, it's only 1,667 words. In the first couple of days, that's a lot, and that hurts. But when you get done with it, it ends up being about 4 to 5 pages a day. And so some days you might find the time to write 10 pages. And if you do that, then you get ahead. And then some days it's hard to write. And when I get a day that's hard to write, a lot of times I'll put music on. I'll play music in the background, especially if I can find music that will inspire me to write the type of topic I want to write about. So I'll give you a little insight into the book I'm writing this time. So I'm going to write my first romance. So I've been married for 22 years. And I've never written a romance.
Brave statement right there.
Yeah. Well, I've been 22 years. I've never written a romance. Now, I've had romantic things in my books, but I've never written a pure out romance. It's not going to be erotica. It is a romance. And it's going to, hopefully, I'm really excited about the book. I can't, I can't wait. When we're done, I'm actually going to try to start writing the first chapter and see how far I get before I get too tired. You can't get jet lagged coming from on a 1 hour, flight from Detroit, but I was pulling so many long hours in Detroit. I'm kind of wiped, but I'm going to try to write, at least the first page or first couple pages before I pass out tonight. But I think that when when you write something like that romance, I have it set in the 1960s. So I actually sat down and thought about what are some of the songs that I think are really romantic songs of the 60s that I could use as inspiration. So I picked things like "Oh Donna" by Richie Valens, which I think is a really nice love song. I picked things like boy, I can't even remember. I wrote them down and I don't remember what they were. But there's a lot of them, right? And so I think one was "Oh Carol" by I forget who. I'm going to stop naming things since I don't remember. But there's a bunch of them. One of them was "Gloria," which isn't exactly a love song, but I thought it was kind of cool. And it kind of inspired me. It kind of got me bopping because it's a more rocking kind of song. The problem with love songs is that they're all for the most part they're slower. Some of them are ballads, and I didn't want to fall asleep, so I put a couple more upbeat songs in there too. So so Katie, I knew you had the question. Does that kind of answer it a little bit?
There is a delay on video.
I know there is. I know. Yeah, I was waiting. So Alex, are you ready to write?
I think I am.
Oh, good.
But yeah, I like what you guys said. It's hard being a writer, but it's also rewarding. So it's definitely something you have to make sacrifices for if you really want to do it. But what inspires me to write is I've had some people tell me after they've read something that I've written that they really liked it and that they thought this was cool or that was cool. And I really enjoyed the ability to share feelings with people through my writing and give them something that's fun, give them something that's entertaining. And that's what makes me write. That's what keeps me going, even when it gets hard.
Well, I'm really glad that you and I saw you muted. Thanks. I'm really glad that you said that because when I think about writing, writing should be a joy, and it should never in my mind it can feel like work sometimes a little bit, but it should really be a joy, right? Because even when you write something that's really horribly sad, and I've done that. I've actually written stuff that I was a mess. I was crying. I was distraught. I needed to go get a hug afterwards because it was, you kind of fall in love with the characters that you're writing for. And when they're hurting and you have to write it and you have to write how they feel and what they're thinking, it's horrible. I remember in Be Positive, there's actually, which again is free until about 3 a.m. Pacific. So I'm hoping for those who came on, I gave, if you scroll down in the chat, you should see the Amazon link to the free book. So if you haven't gotten it yet, click on the link to Amazon, and when you go there, please make sure it's free. I'm not trying to get anybody to buy it. If you're on this, I want to give it to you for free. So and I offered it for free all day, but I especially want to make sure you have it. So if you go there and for some reason Amazon's taking it off for free status, let me know, and I'll make sure that you get a free copy because I definitely want to do that as a gift. And then all right. let's see. So we're coming up on 10 minutes after. So let's see. Do we want to do the prize, Alex?
I think that's all that's left before we start writing.
I think that's all, unless we have any more questions. So I'm going to offer a prize, and this is one that I never thought I would offer, and but I want to offer it. So here's the deal. I do editing for people who become publishing clients of the publishing company that I run. I also do editing for clients on a consulting basis. And so I didn't think I was going to offer this, but then as we were preparing for this is my first year being a municipal liaison for Nano, and I said, you know what, I really want to give something special to the people in the community. So I'm going to ask a question. It's not the easiest question out there, but if you find the answer and you post, the first person that can post the answer to this question in the comments, and it's the correct answer, I will, the prize would be that I will edit your book. So when you finish it, whenever that is, I will edit it for you, free of charge. I'll just do that. We'll work together. Part of editing is, I'll help you go through the creative edit, which is when you go through and make sure there's no plot holes, and that everything works the way you want it to, that you told the story you wanted to tell. And then I'll also help you get through going through and making sure that there are, we'll do line editing, which means we'll go through and make sure that sentence structure is right, that the paragraphs make sense, that the story looks good and has the right punctuation. We'll do spelling checks. We'll look for frequently misspelled words, and we'll actually go through from front to back the entire book and edit it and make sure that it's what you want to do. So that's actually a pretty big prize, and it takes a lot of time to do it, but I'm more than happy to do it because it's something that once you write your book, the big challenge is always getting it the way you want it, and editing is the key to that. So here's the question. The question is, and this is open book, right? So if you want, go ahead and open up Google or whatever you want to open up in order to take a look at it, and I will ask this question. The question is, and just type it in the chat, the answer. What was the first work that was published the first written work that was published for Edgar Allan Poe? And Alex, you're out of this one because you know the answer.
I do know the answer.
So what was the first work of Edgar Allan Poe's that was published? It's not the first book. It's not the first thing he wrote, but it's the first one that was published by Edgar Allan Poe. I'm giving it
emojis. You can't do emojis in here.
I'm giving it giving it some time because I know that the video is delayed a little bit. Or at least to us, it's delayed a little bit. I think it's like a 30-second delay.
Yeah, you just.
Let's just enjoy this vacuum cleaner for a little bit.
I miss Sasha. I was hoping we would have a little more fire engine. Hey, so what snacks do you have over there, Alex? You got snacks?
I do.
You said it was a party, right? So there should be snacks. What kind of snacks you got?
I have nothing but cookies over here.
Yeah.
You like my answer?
Uh-oh. Alex lost his video.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Alex, what happened? Oh, you know what? I'm gonna do? I'm gonna type it into the chat too, because that'll help, right?
Yeah, because that's instant.
No one wants to see me eating a cookie.
Oh.
Open book. So Alex, I'm writing I'm writing it into the chat. The question.
Good on ya, boy.
Good on you, huh? Where have you been? Where'd you went?
Nowhere.
No, you said good on you.
On a walkabout.
Are you on a walkabout?
I'd rather.
Yeah. Oh, you've been watching Lost.
A little bit. So how about that vacuum cleaner?
It's kind of tough. The vacuum cleaner is very tough.
What do you think is going to be the most challenging thing about starting writing?
For me, it's going to be exhaustion because I've been going all day, and I got in so late yesterday, and then today I've been going all day. So I think exhaustion is going to be the hard one for me. But you know, and especially since I'm really trying not to over caffeinate to stay up, because then I have trouble sleeping. I think I'm just going to keep hydrated and keep writing. So how about you? What do you think is going to be the biggest challenge?
The fact that I think I ate like a pound of candy before I got on this, so it's gonna be really hard to be staying up. But you do it anyway.
Yeah.
There's also all that work tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's true, right? Sundays are kind of tough, so that may be more interesting than not. Oh well. All right. Well, let's see. All right. Well, we're almost done. We did the countdown. we had the contest question up and posted, and I'm just giving a little more time to that. So I guess I'm down to the charge, and you know when you set out on anything that's really important in life, I think it's important to have a charge. And I know it's a party, so it's really unlikely that somebody would have a charge. But people have toasts at parties, and so this is kind of a toast. You know, the fact that and Alex has his drink, so that's good. The fact that you came to something at an hour to midnight just shows that that you're dedicated to your writing, and you know, if you're dedicated to writing, don't give up on it. It's something that's important to you, and you can fit it in to what you're doing in your daily life. You just have to be creative in how you do that. And when it comes to hitting like roadblocks and stuff like that, we all find that they happen along the way. I mean, just think about the top 10 that we did. The top 10 basically said that you may run into technical problems. You may run into issues because work wants you to come in, and you really can't say no to them. You got to do those, right? So,
Yep.
You have challenges with family and with other things, and then you have challenges of people, right? So many times in my writing, I've had people say, "What, you're gonna write? That takes so much time," or "Why are you doing that?" Or "Oh, you'll never be able to sell." Everything's already been written. That's my wife in the background. You know, or oh, well, how do you know how to write? You didn't go to school for that. I mean, the reality is we all went to the same schools, right? We basically learned how to write. The problem is they didn't really teach us how to write a novel. They taught us how to write term papers and business papers and essays. But this isn't all that different, when you really get down to it, right? You're gonna come up with a story. You come up with what characters you want to have in it, and then you start writing it, and just don't give up until it's done. I mean, Nano is write 50,000 words. It doesn't say you have to finish the book. 3-day novel is you have to finish the book, and that was tough for me. But I'll give you an example. So 3-day novel, I did 3-day novel 3 times. The first time I did it, I finished Be Positive, which is the book I'm giving away. The second time I did it, Sasha and I actually collaborated, and we wrote. Each of us wrote like almost every other chapter of a book, and so we collaborated on a book, and it was a 320-page book. And that was really tough because we were both writing. We didn't have time to sit there and go, hey, so what do you think about this? We just had to know that based on the structure of the framework we wrote that together, that we would be able to write this thing. And we did, and it goes really well together. The third time I did it, that I did 3-day novel, it was the same year that Alex was doing 3-day novel. It was his first 3-day novel. And so he and I both decided we were going to do it. And I got the phone call at 6 a.m. From the police that my dad was being rushed to the hospital. And I lost 8 hours. And if you think about it, in 3-day novel, you only have 72 hours total, including sleep time, to write a book. And if you want a book that's of a decent size, let's say you want a book that's like 140 or 150 pages, you don't have time to take 8 hours out to go to the hospital. So, and yet I still finished that book. It probably wasn't as long as what I wanted at the time. And I felt unbelievably rushed, but it was worth it. It was really, really worth it. So I was really glad that I was able to get that done. So when it comes to a charge to you, what I'd say is don't give up, keep writing. But when you sign up for Nano, make sure that you sign up to be in the New Jersey Elsewhere region. You can pick to be in multiple regions, but pick New Jersey Elsewhere at least so that you can get emails from me. And I'll send you inspiration throughout the month. I'll make sure that I send, at least on a weekly basis, maybe a couple times a week, things that I think would be inspirational for writers, because it's not my first time doing writing. It's my first time being a municipal leader, but it's not my first time writing. And I definitely want to help to make that happen. Another thing you can do is if you can get the time to go to one of the write-ins, on Monday I'm going to send out whatever the next to final list is for write-ins. And there's write-ins all over New Jersey, and I'm going to be hosting some. If you can get to one of the write-ins, just pick one. If you can get to one each week, great. But if you can only get to one total in the whole time, go to a write-in and meet with some fellow writers. You'll learn a couple things about yourself. You learn some things about them. You just go and you write, but you get to meet people and you get to see what their processes are. And I think that really helps. It helps to know that you're not alone, because that's the hard thing. If I was giving you anything else to do as a challenge, I'd say this: save all the time, save onto other media. Get a thumb drive that you plug into your USB port on your computer and save to your hard drive and save to that thumb drive. And then take that thumb drive and put it in your underwear drawer or your safe deposit box, wherever you're going to put it. Keep it close to you because you're going to be writing, right? But hide it somewhere safe. Make sure that it's safe, because the last thing you want is to lose it. If you're writing by hand, go and make photocopies. Make sure that there's no chance that you're gonna miss out on that. And
That's happened. I've gotten knocked back like 30 pages because it didn't save properly. So that's something really important to do, is just make sure it saves. Make sure
that's true. No, that's true. That's true. You got to make sure that it saves. And then the last one that I'd say is, to help keep accountability, so that you know that you're moving forward. On the NaNoWriMo site, they actually, if you post your word count, and you go look at your novel on the site, it will have a place that'll show you a graph and the graph shows you where you are and where you should be. And it's okay to get behind. That's not a problem. Get behind and it's okay. You just have to find when you can get time to be able to pick it back up. And yeah, that was me yawning. Sorry, it's really late. But you can pick it up, so on the weekend, maybe you have a little more time than you did during the week. And if that's the case, then maybe you can pick up some extra words on the thing. Or maybe you have a really busy day on Sundays and hey, I'm never going to be able to write on Sunday. I'm also not going to be able to write on Thanksgiving. Well, just plan that ahead of time and write on the other days to get ahead, or to pick up where you left off. So, well, I think we've kind of beat this. We went about a half hour longer than I thought we were going to. So
you got too many stories, man.
Too
many good stories to tell.
I also wanted to give more time for the contest question in case anybody wanted to answer it. But in the absence of that, that's okay. I'm going to save it for the next time we get together with people, and I'll see if we have any takers. It's a hard question, but it is open book. But it's a hard question. So I want to thank everybody for coming out and for spending the time. I hope that this was fun for you, and I hope you brought some candy or some treats to enjoy. And I'm glad that Sasha was able to give us some levity, some fun, and I know there was a lot of stuff we talked about, and we didn't do much dancing, right? We didn't do a lot of dancing, but I'm getting some dancing in now before I start writing. Oh, Alex is dancing too. That's good. Go ahead,
it's too blurry.
Let's see you dance. Go for it. Let's see it. Hold on. Oh, it blurs. It blurs.
Yeah.
Oh. See, we got to get you a Mac. That's my Mac dance. The Mac Daddy dance. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna call it before we get to an hour and a half.
Thank you, everybody. I'm gonna go write.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go sleep, definitely sleep because it's a good thing to do.
That's right. Yeah. Don't feel that you have to write right now. You can write when you wake up. But before we go, don't forget it's daylight savings ends tonight. This morning, so at 2 o'clock it rolls back. So if you are going to sleep, go ahead and roll your clock back. Make sure you do. Don't show up to places early tomorrow. I know they'll be happy to see you, but don't do it. So, and I'm so glad if you do sign up for Nano, please friend me. There's a place where you can connect with writing buddies. Please, add me as a writing buddy. I will add you back, and I do want to follow you and see how you're doing. And I want to get together with you, even if we can't get a formal write-in on a certain night. If we can, maybe we can just get together in small groups too. So I know people are kind of scattered. The elsewhere region is literally everywhere. It's all the way up in Summit County, all the way down to Cape May, and there are, so it's the whole state. There are regions that are are all around in the state, but not everybody can get to the write-ins or the activities that they have. So, and that's why there's an elsewhere. If you live somewhere that doesn't really fit in a region, you're in elsewhere. And the shore here is in that position, right? We're nowhere near Princeton, which is the central area. And the south is really south of us. It's like Egg Harbor. So, so there really is nothing in this area. And so that's why I want to have some write-ins in like the Neptune area and the Ocean area and Middletown if we can. And that way we'll have some write-ins all over. I've currently got one I'm working on to try to get in Ocean. As soon as I have it, I will post it. My guess is I may not have it ready for this week, but there is a write-in that's happening on Friday in Freehold, and I will be there. So if you want to meet in person, I will be at the Starbucks in Freehold on Friday. And in addition to that, I will send out to the group a list of when the write-ins are all across the state. So if there's a chance that you'll be somewhere that there's near somewhere that has a write-in, feel free to drop in and meet some fellow writers and get some writing in. So, all right, so that is an hour and a half. I'm gonna sign off now. I've been having too much fun. All right, well, take care and be safe and have a good time writing. Happy Nano.
Happy Nano. And to all a good night. Vacuum sound.
Oh, take care. Bye.